What's up, YouTube? This is your boy John from the Jersey Shore, and I am back with you today to give you my review of the 2016 film, The Train to Busan. If you're already a subscriber to my channel, welcome back. It's good to see you guys again. If you're not already subscribed to my channel, come on, get that out of the way. Click the subscribe button, ring the bell, join the Project Ellsworth family. Train to Busan was written by Dong-seok Park and Sang Ho Yen. It was directed by Sang Ho Yen, starring Soo Yang, starring Yu Gang, Dong-seok Ma, Yumi Jung, and Soo-on Kim. I bet you I got half of them names right at best. Train to Busan begins with a gentleman driving down the road and he hits a deer. This deer is clearly dead. There's blood all over the place. This guy checks him out, sees that he's dead, jumps back in his car and drives away. After he drives away, you see the deer very slowly start to regain consciousness. He stands up and looks around and he has just very blank, dead eyes. So after this deer seemingly takes a couple seconds to get its wits about it, it just runs away. Off he goes. Next we meet Seok Woo. I believe that's how you pronounce that guy's name. He's at home. He's with his daughter. He's recently separated. His daughter is there and she clearly needs his attention. But you get a very quick indication that he spends all of his time involved in work and engulfed with work, but does not spend enough time with his daughter. They show him give a present to his daughter. He seems to be very excited about it. He says, I know you wanted one of these. She opens up the present and it's a Nintendo Wii. And she slowly looks over on the table and she's already got one. He bought her one. He doesn't even remember doing it. So this little girl then starts telling her father that she wants to go and see her mother. Her mother is in Busan. The father keeps on pushing her off and basically telling her we're going to go next week. Next week comes, he tells her next week that we're going to go next week, so next week seemingly never comes. So after this little girl just keeps pushing and pushing and pushing that she wants to go to Busan, she wants to see her mother, finally the father gives in and says we're going to go tomorrow. She's begging to go tomorrow? Fine, we're going tomorrow. So now we're at the train station. You see everybody loading the trains. Trains are filling up with people. Conductor's waving people in. He's making sure everything's clear. They're getting ready to leave. And then suddenly, you get a flash that somebody snuck in behind the conductor. Who was that snuck on the train?
이상한 사람이 하나 타고 있는 것 같은데.
팀장님, 여기 11호차 응급 환자 발생했습니다.
So unfortunately, the person that snuck onto this train was infected by whatever it was that deer had. So who it was that jumped on that train was a little kid. And that little kid is running around and is now attacking people. As soon as the child attacks one person, they turn into a zombie. They attack another person, they turn into a zombie. And it just, the cycle keeps going, and pretty soon you have entire train cars full of zombies. These people are turning pretty fast. They're not taking any time like they do in the traditional zombie movies. And now mayhem is completely broken out. There are train cars filling up with zombies. You have one infected guy running into another train. They're breaking through windows. Just, it is completely widespread, running all through this train. The people on the conductors are getting word and making announcements that this is not just in this train, that this is becoming worldwide, and it has spread everywhere. What they do know is that it appears that the military has taken back Busan, so they are going to continue their trip to Busan because they're in hopes that safety is awaiting them. So they do make one stop and they get off. They think that everything is safe. Seemingly the military's there. They were given information that the military was there. This is not Busan yet, but it was another stop along the way going towards Busan. So the trains empty out. They're going down. They're inside of the train station. And then suddenly they realize that the military has also now been infected. So the military is turning around and chasing them back towards the train. So while they're in this train station, Saek-woo and his daughter come across another character in the movie, and he's in there with his pregnant wife. And while they're trying to make their way back to the train, this other guy saves Saek-woo's daughter and then eventually assists in saving Saek-woo himself. So after a whole lot of fighting and scrapping to make their way back to the train, they do get back on the train. But now everybody's separated. So you have train cars that have normal humans that are still alive on it. Then you have a train full of zombies. Then another train full of zombies. Then another train full of people who are alive. So they're trying to communicate with each other through cell phones and through the loudspeakers, but they're not having a whole lot of success. Some things are going in and out, but they do determine that there's a train ahead that is basically safety, and they're going to be moving ahead on the train trying to get there. But in order to do so, these guys have to fight their way through several cars that are filled with zombies. One thing that does work out in their favor is they do realize that these zombies are triggered by sight. So if they don't see you, they don't flip out and they calm down. So they are putting paper on the windows between the cars so that when they do have a chance to sit still and take a breather, the zombies are not trying to break through the windows to get to them. Another thing that they're doing is as the train is moving through tunnels, while it's dark, they're taking advantage of trying to maneuver their way through the zombies. So they're up in luggage racks. They're doing everything that they can do to get past these zombies to get to safety. Throughout this entire movie, there's one guy that is just a complete jerk. He's trying to keep people that are trying to get to safety away from him because he's afraid they're infected. He's basically sacrificing people. He is a dude who does not worry about anybody else's well-being except for his own. Because of this guy, directly because of this guy, several lives are lost in this movie. And we're talking about this guy, he's pushing aside women and children. He doesn't care who it is. As long as he is saving himself, he is not worried about anybody else whatsoever. Male, female, woman, child, it doesn't matter to him. As long as he's safe himself, the hell with everybody else. And that's it, really. I honestly just don't want to ruin any of this movie for you. Even within this review, the information that I gave you was not really a whole lot of information within the whole scope of what this movie actually is. I have to tell you that I read the description of this movie on Netflix. It's the first time I ever saw it was on Netflix. And it just seemed kind of interesting to me. I like zombie movies. I like J-horror. So, I haven't seen a whole lot of J-horror zombie movies. I've seen a lot of each, but I haven't seen a lot of those two subgenres together. So I figured, what the hell, I'll give it a watch. This was honestly one of the best zombie movies that I have ever seen in my life. This movie was fantastic. Front to back, incredible movie. I don't even know if this still is on Netflix. If it is and you have not seen it, watch this movie. If you like zombie movies, this is an absolute must-see. If you like J-horror, this is an absolutely must-see. If you like them both, like I do, you cannot go wrong with The Train to Busan. I'd almost guarantee that you will love this movie. I sincerely don't know if this movie is still available on Netflix. I haven't been on Netflix in a while. I haven't poked around on Netflix in a while. I do not know if this movie is available on Amazon Prime, but both of those platforms are easy enough to check. You go in there, you do a search, Train to Busan. If this movie is there, I'm telling you to watch this movie. If this movie's not there, I would go as far as to say, get online and buy this movie. It's absolutely fantastic. The story is outstanding. The whole thing pulls on your heartstrings. It's action-packed almost from the time it starts to the time it's finished. It is absolutely beautifully made. The directing is great. The acting is great. The effects are great. The settings are great. There is not one single thing about this movie that is not friggin' great, except for that one asshole on the train. I would say that this movie is somewhere in between, or sort of like a very good mix of 28 Days Later and World War Z. And those are two of my personal favorite zombie movies of all time. I know there's very much debate whether 28 Days Later are zombies or whether they're infected, because if you're a zombie, then it's the dead coming back to life, where in 28 Days Later, they never really died. They just became infected with rage. But who cares? That's another debate for another time. This movie is very much a hybrid of those two films. If you liked those, you will like this. I don't have anything negative to say about this movie at all. This movie was absolutely, positively fantastic. Find it, watch it, buy it if you have to. Train to Busan. It is an absolute must-see. All right, folks, that is going to do it for my review of Train to Busan. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. If you really like this video, please subscribe to my channel. I would love for you to go on this journey with me. If you have seen Train to Busan, let me know in the comments section below. I would love to talk to you about this movie. Fantastic. I think you can tell I like this one a little bit. Take care of yourself. Take care of each other. Have a kick-ass day, and thank you for watching.